elections on October 10, following which it was realized that none of the candidates obtained the constitutional mandate of 50% plus one vote to get an outright victory. And so, as per the Liberian constitution, the runoff was called, which was held on November 14. And right now, I can tell everybody's on tenterhooks waiting for the final results. We're beginning to understand it might happen today, it might happen tomorrow. But preliminary results are being called by the National Elections Commission. So we're going to be talking about that. But we're also going to be talking about the state of our democracy, what all of this means for Liberia. A lot has been said about the level of transformation that has happened in this country over the last decade or so. And our elections is testament of that. Even the international observers have all been saying, wow, this is quite an incredible national process. Quite, unseen in any African country for that matter, or most of Africa. For that matter. So we're going to be chit-chatting a bit about that. And we have, a host of new guest hosts this morning in our studio. We expect Kwame Nopa Weeks to walk in at some point during the course of our conversation. But right now we have the campaign spokesperson of the We Are Taylor 2023 campaign of the Coalition for Democratic Change. I'm talking about Councillor Kanyo Bagbala. Councillor Bala is here. Councillor Bala, good morning.
Well, thank you, Boy. I think it's good to be here on your platform.
I know. We also have, the erudite and quite many Paka Doy. He is a staunch official of the CPP, but the CPP pledged its support to the re-election bid of His Excellency the President, and so he's here to weigh in with a conversation this morning. Minip Paka, good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, so that's the number of people in our studio this morning. So you can tell, quite huge. In terms of academic stature and all of that, these are people that are quite nationally known, and so we're going to be chit-chatting about quite a number of things in the studio this morning. As always, my name is Boakai Fofana. I am the Deputy Minister at the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism, and as you know, this is the Ministry of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism's platform. It's called Micat Hour. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Mikara. Well, like we said, we're going to be talking firstly about a lot to talk about. I know a lot of you are just waiting out there saying, oh, these people will come out today. What are they going to be talking? What are we talking about? All this stuff. So, yeah, well, we here, by the way. And yeah, there are a lot of reasons to be quite hopeful. And Councillor Bada going to be telling you about that as the official campaign spokesperson. But I just wanted to just pick their brains a bit about, firstly, the state of our democracy. I was reading through the EU press statement, but also, Lyon, ECC, all the different international observers, all of them are hailing the fact that this is the first time this is happening post conflict. But even before the conflict, there wasn't anything comparable to this, as free, open, transparent, and fair as it is, but also entirely funded by the Liberian government, managed by the Liberian government, managed by the National Elections Commission, obviously. And the results are being called, and everybody seems to believe in the process. Nobody has questioned the fairness and objectivity of the National Elections Commission up to this point. What does that tell you guys, about the Liberian democracy? Kanyo and or let's talk Kanyo. Yeah, let's talk Kanyo.
Well, thank you, Boykai. Thank you for having me. I think it's there could not be a better time to speak to the people of Liberia than at this point in time. I think one of the facets of a functioning democracy is effective communication, but not just effective communication, but communication that is honest, communication that is free from fake news, communication that is not intended to propagandize and to provoke people to violence, communication that has the bare essentials intended to move the country forward. And I think that's why it's important that we are here today to speak to the Liberian people. You asked the question about the state of our democracy, considering the recent conduct of the elections, which to a larger extent, the burden shouldered by this government, the we are led government. And what does that speak about our democracy? But before I speak to the strength of our democracy and what the implications are, I would like to start by speaking to those who follow the president. I mean, I speak in my official capacity as National Campaign Spokesperson of the We Are Taylor 2023 National Victory Campaign. I like to start by speaking to seditions, to Weashans, to our many collaborators, those who endorsed us in the second round, people who are partyless but have decided to support the re-election effort of the president. I like to say to them that I've received, if not thousands, hundreds of calls since the commencement of the reading of the results from the National Elections Commission. And naturally, those of us who our faces are plastered at the forefront of communicating the gains of His Excellency and the communication strategy of this campaign, naturally people want to know what is happening. And I've said to them, there is no reason to waver. And I repeat that, there is no reason to waver. There is no reason to be worried. There is no reason for any sedition, reaction, or any of our supporters to cower in fear. There is no reason for that. And I think it's important to start this conversation about talking about the basics and the fundamentals of our democracy by assuring our partisans that the democratic process is alive and well, but also delving into why we have come to this place. Baka, if you will permit me, this is so very important.
Yeah, it is.
That
very important.
We are in an age where fake news rules. We are in an age where any guy with a smartphone and internet connection can ascribe unto himself the role of an expert. We're in an age when somebody can conjure up any kind of platform and go on there and spread disinformation and misinformation to the population. Some of the people that have called me asking what is going on, when I ask them, where do you get these kinds of spurious claims? They tell me, oh, it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
So because it's on Facebook, or somebody has
we should stress, Kanyo, that one of doing their report, I'm talking about the EU, they talk about a number of gains of the administration of President George, and we had to talk about, for instance, that political parties were allowed to canvass freely, they spoke freely, they weren't harassed. But they also talk about where voters, the social media platform that it seemed as if the candidates, were using primarily. And they mentioned Facebook, but they also said that was a platform that was used to spew out a lot of lies and fake news. And
I agree with you, Baka, and that's where I'm going. And I think it's important for our partisans and well-wishers to hear this. Because most of the information coming out that's creating these anxiety out there in the public, that's trying to create the appearance that somebody has won, is mainly being propagated by people on Facebook who have political sides. Now, and look, where we are in our democracy, I tell you, we take our positions unapologetically. I support the president. I support the re-election of the president. We have record of what the president has done to transform this country.
Exactly.
And we do so without any apology.
Not at all.
So therefore, when people come into the public space and produce information that is inherently false, intended to sway the mentality of the people, we must confront it. I'm still on the question of our democracy and how strong it is as a consequence of the leadership of President Weah. All right. When you have somebody who is supposed to be a data empiricist,
in person of
Can we get?
No, I'm not going to. No.
Can we get Minip Paka's initial comments and then we get to you?
Let us complete this point.
I want to talk about myself.
Yes, but I'm starting this conversation right now.
Okay.
When you have Amara Kone sit on the internet, project information that is patently false, inciting supporters of the United Party to believe that they have won elections, whereas the umpire of the elections have not produced that result. This is a recipe for chaos in the country.
It is.
For example,
couldn't agree more.
he was somebody who came up first. He said they have all of their so-called tally sheets and he will release results at 3 a.m. in the morning. That is what he said. At 3 a.m. in the morning, he did not release those results. Again, he came and brought bulk numbers. He said he will release at 7 a.m. At 7 a.m., he came and said, after 85% have been tallied, the Unity Party was in the lead by 40,000 votes. That's what he said.
I know.
NEC reported yesterday with 86% of the votes so far that have been counted, they have a very marginal and slim lead of 16,000 votes. This is patent misinformation and disinformation. The point I like to end on, and then Minip Paka will chime in, but it's important that I started on this note, that these lies can be a basis for violence in our country. It is important for Amara Kone and those of them on that side to realize that it is the state of the country that is at play here, and you cannot play with the Liberian people. I have always said this. They think that they can incite people to get in the streets. Just yesterday in Sino County, Milton Tiaji and others gathered together and stormed the National Election Commission office, demanding that there was some information they gathered they're supposed to be cheating. That is how they have started. The next thing you will hear, in Monserrado County, they will storm the National Election Commission office, demanding that there is cheating going on. But the point being made, the first results were released. They are celebrating those results, even though they lied about the results. They are not saying that the results are inaccurate. The second results have been released yesterday. They are lying again about those results, but they are not saying it's inaccurate. They are celebrating. Okay, we are going to 4:30 again today, so the results will be released. That's the voice of Daniel. For no, but I am still ending. It is important. No, we are at a very critical point.
I totally agree.
And so, therefore, our people must understand when they take Spoon FM and other stations around here and lie to the people and provoke the people. Even our own partisans, when we come here, we don't come to play. It is important that the Liberian people know.
I just want to emphasize some of the points. Some of the points you were making. For instance, you talk about.
You emphasize yours. Let me emphasize mine.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Now let's come back to the point of the state of our democracy. That's the question you ask. The state of our democracy is beautiful, and it's beautiful because of President Weah. The things we see happening in this country today, that Amara Kone and others can just sit on public profiles and bring out lies that have the ability to bring violence in this country without repercussions, that Milton Tiaji and others can march to an NEC head office demanding that people come outside because they claim that there is cheating, where there is a democratic process to follow when you have grievances. It tells you that our democracy is beautiful. But what I would like to say, as I rest and so others can chime in, to our many supporters, is that President Weah has a clear statistical pathway to the presidency in these elections. We like to make that emphatically clear. The numbers out there, they have a very slim and unsteady lead of 16,000 votes. But we saw it in the first round. When the first results were released, they led. When the second results were released, they led. Ultimately, who came out with the most votes at the end of the day? It was President Weah. Out of a crowded field of 20 candidates, after they led for 2 days running, after threatening the peace and making statements that they were going to demonstrate because the results were not accurate and they were being cheated, they accepted the result when they led for 2 days. But what happened afterwards? President Weah came back
and won them.
And so therefore we are telling our partisans, remain calm, remain stable. Do not allow Spoon FM and Amara Kone and their fake news and whatever they're trying to conjure up to unsettle you. We have a clear pathway to victory for President Weah, and we are on that pathway.
Well, that's the voice of, you can tell the passion in his voice. That's the voice of Kanyo Bagbala. He is the campaign spokesperson. But a couple of points I just wanted to emphasize. One is the latter point. The fact that this is the same trend. And if you saw, you probably might have seen some of the newspapers, more specifically from Page Africa, which the headline was basically stating that the same trend from the October 10 elections. So in October 10 election, the Unity Party's alliance led for 2 days. And then President Weah came and overtook that and then won the first round of the elections. We're beginning to see the same pattern. They've led for a couple of days, and we have results to be announced today, probably tomorrow. Who knows? But the margin is so slim, and according to the spokesperson, this is an unassailable lead that can be overtaken anytime.
Is it an assailable lead?
Sorry, an assailable lead. Yeah, I said unassailable. Yeah, an assailable lead that can be overtaken anytime. And in fact, he did say that we'll have a clear pathway to victory. And all of what we're saying, let me conclude, candidate, before I introduce Rufus and other people. All of what we're saying are beginning to point in that direction. But he also made a specific point about Amra, who it seems has overtaken the Unity Party in the latter days, and everybody giving him credit for all of the things that the Unity Party has done in the last year or so when he wasn't there at all. All of the people that fought seem to have been sidestepped, and he's being given all of the different credits now. But he projected a couple of figures on social media. He said he has gotten 85% about a day ago of the tally sheets and the results, and it showed that they were in the lead and leading by more than 40,000 votes. That was just less than 24 hours before the NEC release. About 86% of the results. It shows a stark variance between what Amara Konen was projecting, about 40% lead, with what NEC projected, which is about 15. Very assailable lead. So it shows that this is a clear indication of those are the folks that are out there probably believing in him and his numbers and all of that. That these numbers are fake. They're just projecting willy-nilly, without clear statistical, pathway or evidence and all of those stuff. So we just want you to believe that. But we've been joined back, like I told you today. This is a heavyweight panel. We've had most of Liberia's, strong intellectuals in our studio today. We just heard from the campaign spokesperson. I earlier introduced to you one of the senior officials of the CPP. Now I'm about to introduce another person who just walked in the studio. I'm talking about the erudite ambassador. Counselor or attorney?
Attorney. Don't carry me to Canada. I'm still way down.
Yeah, so Rufus Nuve has just joined us. He also has pledged his support to the re-election of His Excellency the President. Rufus, let me just welcome you before I get to Minip Paka.
Well, thanks for having me. I almost had an accident, I must admit. I came running to the studio because of the nature of this conversation, the timing, in the history of our country, the threat to peace and stability looming in the air, the ocean wave of misinformation and disinformation, lies and deceit. We've reached a point again where we must all hold the stick together. We've reached a point in our country where we must all rally, regardless of our party, regardless of our tribes, our religion, to make sure that we keep the kids in schools, to make sure that we keep stores and businesses open, to make sure that we have a government functioning. So, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. And I hope today's show you will try to negotiate with management for time. I can assure you that the whole country.
We already have 2 hours. So you want more time?
No, we can try the 2 hours.
Let's try the 2 hours.
But let all the information come out today. Don't say, we're out of time.
No, we ain't going to be out of time.
The whole country listening right now, let's put in some. This is more important now than almost anything else.
I couldn't agree more. Let's hear your initial thoughts, Minip Paka.
Well, this election is one of thin margins, bad mathematics, and selfish pursuit of power by some of the actors. Those who want to end Liberia. I think if you want to end Liberia, you can never have me support you. But if you want to end Liberia, there are some unscrupulous people like Amar Mohammed Konen that would work with you in ending Liberia. That is by publicizing lies. The impression unity partisans have is that they've won an election. The reality is that they're leading by 16,000 votes, whereas there is 13.29% outstanding. When you do a projected turnout of around 1.6 million, you do 13.29% of that, you're over 212,000 votes out there. What is 16,000 in the face of over 200,000? There's a clear pattern here in these elections of the George Weah dominant areas being reported later than Joseph N. Boaka's dominant areas. But some of the early indications of the performance of the president in these elections are visible in places like Lofa, where the president moved from 27%
got 35%
to 35%, almost 9 points jump.
Yeah.
You don't see similar things.
Even in Nimba.
Yeah, but hold on.
Yeah.
You don't see a similar trend in the Weah dominant areas.
Yeah, not at all.
So, for example, we're still seeing Weah do upwards of 80% in the southeast.
Yes.
For the purposes of analyzing these elections, you have to take 5 counties, the southeast, together, because they have acted in a Those would be my
that's the voice of Minip Paka. A couple of statistics I just wanted to throw out there, and Minip Paka was talking about. One is that we had, the CDC had more votes in Lofa County than they did have in the first round of the elections, which increased, I think, from the 20% range to 35%, and that number was actually around 41,000 votes, as compared to the 75,000 votes of the Unity Party. And the same thing happened in Nimba County. In the first round, I think that percentage was about 20%. Now it increased to 28%. But additionally, Lofa County recorded quite lower turnout than they did in the first round of the elections. Bon County had more turnout. Even my Gibi had more turnout than Lofa County, all of those stuff. So those are the trends that you probably need to look at. And Paka was talking about something, that happened in the Southeast. Whereas the Southeastern votes increase. And by the way, we still have a lot of votes from the Southeast. Sino, for instance, has a greater percentage still left. Grand Jide and all of the different places. And we already go on 100% of Lofa County. So when the campaign spokesperson talk about the pathway to victory, Kanyobala, that's exactly what he was talking about. But let's hear, from the attorney.
Well, let me go one step further by appreciating His Excellency President George Manawia, by congratulating him for the conduct of an election that is considered by the whole world now as very free, fair, transparent, credible, with the highest level of integrity. Let me appreciate the entire government, the national security, the police, the army, and all Liberians that voted. Whether you voted for Joe Bueka, George Weah, or Ellis Cummings, we were all peaceful.
Yeah.
But in the study of electoral politics, electoral history, violence and disruption in the process can always occur at the time of announcing a winner. And that's a stage we've reached. I want to use this occasion to also call on those that were elected to the Liberian Senate, including my brother Amara Connell, and the rest of the folks, that if you disrupt the peace process and there is a breakdown of law and order as a result of falsehood and misinformation, and we are forced to go to a transitional process to further stabilize the country, know first, Mr. Connell, that your results in Babolu will also be nullified.
Exactly. Could be invalidated completely.
Completed by a transitional arrangement.
Yeah.
Know also, my brother, Mr. Dillon, Senator Yombli Kanga, and the rest of the folks that are screaming and yelling on the other side, my friend Yeke Koluba and the rest of the guys, that if you feed the public with over-anxiety, misinformation, and falsehood, and they believe that A is going to occur, at the end they get B, they will think that they were cheated. Look, I will tell you something about the CDC. There's no political party now with more human beings to put on the street to celebrate than the CDC.
I know.
And I'm saying it right in
that's true.
The spokesman or Councillor Bala. No political party. If Kanyo just say right now, tomorrow morning, CDC, you come outside, we have won. Here's our result, come and celebrate. I don't think there will be any space on the road for Amara Kone to even drive a car to go to a war room. You cannot do that. Don't can you advise the guys? I'm not being too political today because we are not campaigning.
Yeah.
And people voted already. So there's no speech you can give that can change what has happened.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you see I'm not going to who the bad guy, who the good guy. I'm going more on the stability and the peace of the country and how we conduct ourselves in terms of character in these last days. You are leading by 16,000.
Yeah.
Even if you have an election in one county, 16,000 is still a nominal number.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about a whole country. Secondly, you have more than 200,000 votes remaining. So there is a mathematical possibility. I am not Diva Brown. I know how you call her. So I don't have I will not pretend to be Amara Kone. I'm not reading any results yet. But the fact is, there is still a mathematical possibility for the Unity Party to win and for the CDC to win. They both have 50-50. Equal chances. So we all got to begin preparing the population for victory or defeat. You will have to prepare seditions for victory or defeat, And the Unity Party people will have to prepare, the partisan for victory or defeat. Where we stand right now, my brother, it is an issue of anybody winning the election based on the results that will come from the 200,000. Congratulations to the Unity Party for the first lead. But according to the rules of the election commission, the new election law, leading is not victory.
Yeah.
There must be a final tally. That's what the law says. So if you have a final tally and the CDC emerge as a winner, we have to appreciate them. If the Unity Party will also appreciate you. But my concern, the reason why I rushed to this studio, almost making accident today, was to attack not the political utterances. I don't have interest in whether Joseph Boyka better than we are or we are better than Boyka. I think the campaign, we have exhausted that.
Yeah.
Where we are right now is how Monday morning the kids can go to school.
Yeah.
Where we are right now is how you can have a functional government. In fact, tomorrow we'll have a football game. Lone Star today, I mean, we have Lone Star versus Malawi.
Yeah.
On the football field, there will be CDC, Unity Party, everybody clapping for the same Lone Star. LPP will be there. So people like, my friend and brother Amara Connor, I appreciate, his political role.
It is unfortunate that he's beginning to even say Joseph Boyka is president.
Yeah, he's putting the population.
That is quite unfortunate.
He's putting the population in a particular mode. And what he's doing, which I'm not encouraging seditions to do, because a lot of them call me, they too want to start announcing results, just like Amara is doing. So when you announce a result and put the people in a particular direction, to take the people from the direction, it will be difficult. People will start to celebrate. There will be violence. There could be trouble in the country. You have to stop. And I'm not even happy about what is going on, in terms of some people calling for early celebration. I think nobody should celebrate until NEC can come out with the results. But what I want to
and we should stress that Ambassador Nouvelle, that the National Security, tax
Council,
force, has basically said that they don't encourage pre-celebration,
premature celebration.
Campaign of election victory from any of the sides.
From any of the sides.
So, any of the sides.
And the reason for that is simple. John celebrating right now, Peter celebrating right now, and there could be a clash of celebration.
I agree.
Okay, two forces could come together, and then you have violence. Let us remember that you don't want to make Joseph Boyka president with all the ministries burned, with all the banks looted, with all the stores looted. You don't want to make George Weah president with all the stores looted, all the buildings burned, and people have their personal issues with people. When you have violence, sometimes you know how you start the violence, you don't know how you end it.
Not at all.
So let us look at to hammer down, let us look at the National Elections Commission, my people.
Yeah.
If the commission say Kani Obara is a president, Kani Obara the president. If they say that Munubaga do more, okay, Rufus Nubel we go. But the way we are proceeding, we are putting our supporters, we are giving our supporters a particular mindset that they have already won. And that's why I'm in the studio today. If you give the people that mindset to go in reverse gear, it will be difficult.
Yeah.
And most of the guys doing these things, they are elected officials. Some of them are government officials. Mind you, the government has 3 branches. If you're a senator, you are also a senior government official.
Yeah.
When there's trouble in the country today, I don't think you will walk licking ice cream when there's crisis in the country. When we had 1980 year and the military took over, the 13 men that were on the poll, there were senators there, there were ministers there, the president died, there were representatives there. Don't do anything to encourage violence, because there will be no violence in the country and you're walking around eating cookies and licking ice cream.
Yeah.
So what Amara Connor is doing is that he has put his people in a frame of mind, and almost irreversible frame of mind. Almost not irreversible, because we are reversing it now by the kind of information we're sending out, but almost irreversible frame of mind. Now you come up today and say, no, you check Grand Bassa and other areas in the southeast. George Weah is now leading. Somebody
because that is a possibility. That is the possibility that we have.
Clear possibility. There is a mathematical possibility that anybody could come out as a winner. It's good to be happy because you score 1 goal and you're leading. But you leading when you still got time in the game. So I want to use this occasion to tell all my Liberian people, from Maryland to Cape Mount, from Nima to Bassa, Babolu, all over the country, my people. I can't call all the counties, but be calm. Look up to the Election Commission. The Election Commission is very credible. We are all celebrating their results.
Credibility
cannot be defined in the context of you winning.
I agree.
Integrity cannot be defined within the context of you winning. You cannot say the neck is credible only when you are winning.
You hear the results when you're winning. Yeah,
that's not how the dictionary define credibility. So let's look at the neck. Whoever is the winner, let's accept it. But again, let me close by saying, let me just seize a moment by saying, let us remember that under all of the politics, under all of the insults, there is a government. Yeah. There is a president that has created a level playing field. I have not seen this in my whole life. Basically, the government is sponsoring an electoral process that even the government could be voted out.
Yeah.
So look at democracy from that level. Appreciate president. We are just from the point that we have a free, fair, and transparent process, regardless of who the winner is. Yeah. Other leaders, and some of the people that are criticizing the president today, talking about coming to power, some of them will be here. Police people will come for you to the radio station when you criticize them. Yep. You know people here, my brother.
We begin to see semblance of that.
The level of intolerance, even in the campaign, is so high.
It's so high.
When you take a side, then you don't love Liberia. Yeah. Then you hate Liberia. Then you want to. When you take their side, then you are a clean guy. Some of us never participated in the Liberian Civil War. Because former fighters supporting some people, even those former fighters are supposed to have more integrity now than us.
I know.
Their brothers and sisters who fought and catapulted the peace process. Okay? So my argument today, just before you take your microphone, my brother, let us remember that Amara Kone, you will not be a senator when there's chaos in the country, Baku. Disregard. In fact, somebody was talking about being senator for Babolu in a transitional legislative assembly. Don't encourage a transitional legislative assembly. Let the National Election Commission be given a space to announce the results. If you are the winner, Liberia come first. If you're not the winner, Liberia come first. I want to see on that for now.
Let me get to the campaign spokesperson, but I'd like to pick up on some of the points you made about Amara. When you talk to some of the pundits, they will tell you they've never knew him to be like a belligerent actor in our country politics. He's always presented himself like this intellectual, data, professional and all of those stuff. But to start now at this stage and stoking fear and anxiety and possible violence and all of that to the extent of preempting the National Elections Commission and calling who the president of the republic is and all of that. These are things quite unheard of. Even some of the most belligerent actors, the likes of Bud Nikkei and all of the different, they have not done that. But he's gone further ahead. What do you think will be the game plan here?
Well, I'll come to Amara and his antics, and what I see is a clear plan to destabilize this country and the electoral process. I like to make that statement again. What we see Amara and his minions and those who follow him do, the Spoon FM network, all of them that are allied in the propagation of fake information, the ultimate intent is to destabilize this country. That is the ultimate intent, to bring chaos to Liberia, to bring anarchy to this country. That is what they are doing. Because just like Rufus pointed out, if we, as the so-called responsible intellectuals of the country, if we are not prepared to go into a process which so far has been totally unbiased, open, free, and fair, and I don't think they can disagree with us.
No, they don't.
The Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change went to elections prior to these elections twice in Montserrado County, the most populated county in the country. We put two separate candidates. We lost massively to the opposition here in Montserrado County under the watchful eye of Madam Deviator Brown, I believe.
Yeah.
During that period, today, DeLon and others who are the cabal supporting Amara Kone, who benefited from that particular electoral process, they all hailed the process as being free and fair. That commission has not changed. It is the same commission that is still there today, umpiring these elections. But all of a sudden, they want to usurp the role now of the commission. Why? It is simply because they cannot countenance losing. That is it. They believe that the elections are only credible to the extent that they are winning. But when they start to lose, then the elections are not credible. We need to dispel those kind of spurious notions from the attention of the Liberian people. The other thing to point out, I've been receiving a lot of comments like, where are the tally sheets you have? What are the results
from your war room. And I think nothing is laughable as compared to those kinds of questions for 2 or 3 counts. And I'll start with the first one. So, assuming that I had tally sheets, and mind you, tally sheets for over 5,000 polling places. So, I'm supposed to have paper tally sheets in my possession as National Campaign spokesperson. That's the first assumption. Not only that, I'm supposed to take those tally sheets and post it somewhere that they all can see. That's not the only question. When I post it somewhere that they can see, then they must be able to analyze each of those tally sheets and tabulate them and come to a result. Are you following me? So they ask me, where are the tally sheets? Implicitly, they're saying, where are the tally sheets so that we can verify that you are in a position to win? And because you are not posting tally sheets, it means that you are losing. What kind of inherent absurdity is that?
Yeah.
All right.
And the thing is, another thing I want to ask you, Councillor Gbadebo, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think, because I was just, suggesting to a colleague that if the government of Liberia had to put in millions, to support the electoral process through the National Elections Commission, in order to make sure that the process was smooth, and the National Elections Commission took days, if not weeks, to announce the first result. They even, getting all of the different tally sheets from across the country was quite a hassle. Do you think a political party that has already complained about, resource challenges and all of those different stuff will have 85% of the results in less than 24 hours?
Well, again, that's left with, sometimes, but you see, that's the problem when you have people being led by people that are patently dishonest.
Yeah.
People like Amara Kone, who will falsify information, misstate information because they have political ends. I know my brother, and council doesn't want to go into the murky waters because we passed the elections. But I tell you, some of us, we're taking our political line and we take it unapologetically. Post-elections will remain in that line. All right? Ahmad did not support the United Party in the first round. He came, he ran a campaign in Bapolu County. He said nothing about the Unity Party. If you read his most recent post, he said he participated in elections. He cited 2017 and he won.
And he got a lot of support from the CDC.
The Unity Party did not win in 2017. So how did he win in 2017? He needs to explain that to the Unity Party. And those now who are bending him as some savior who has come. But we know all of this will come to naught. But the point I was making, coming back to this question about tally sheets. So people expect that kind of Bagbala will have tally sheets from 5,000 polling places on him. Not only that, though, he will post it on Facebook, and they will be able to analyze those tally sheets and deduce where the CDC is numerically on Facebook. That is utterly laughable. Yeah. In one day of the election result. And on the converse, what it does, it also announce my results at 3 a.m. in the morning. Did you get result from Bokonji there? Votes. We got granted that we got 30,000 votes net,
which can max out the 10,000.
Can max out your 10,000 3 times. We are not posting that because we don't want to give a skewed narrative to our people.
Yeah,
we don't want to do that. We can do the same for many other counties. Grand Bassa, we're still leading you in Grand Bassa. As we speak, we probably net of 6,000 plus votes in Grand Bassa County. Why aren't we posting that? Because we believe that at the end of the day, it is the National Elections Commission that will call these elections. We have a clear statistical, mathematical pathway to the presidency. President Weah has that pathway. And we're telling our supporters, don't be moved by what Amra Kone and the rest of the guys are saying. They deliberately told their supporters to start playing music. They deliberately told their supporters to start dancing. They deliberately told their supporters to start organizing and moving in the streets. Like you know, Council Nouvel said, you can match the CDC when it comes to share numbers. Can you? If we even issue a single request to partisans to assemble as I speak in the next 1 hour today in the city of Monrovia, with America being in that joke of a war room they're talking about, it will not happen. But we are a government and we are responsible. That's why we will not do so. Because when we start to lift hopes and start projecting ourselves as winners, anything to the contrary will lead to bloodshed in this country. And
that is the voice of.
I will end on this note.
Let me get Minip Paka. Yeah,
I want to address it.
Let's give it a few minutes.
I'll end on this note. Where we are, especially, and I'm here not for Amra. You know, in as much as I'm incensed, you know, I'm mad, I'm disappointed that a guy with an intellect at that level will stoop this low because of political power, simply because he wants to hijack the Unity Party. Yeah. You know, in the dying minutes after they have, you know, done all the work. That all of that. I'm not too concerned about that. What I'm really concerned about is that we have partisans out there, supporters out there, well-wishers out there who toiled blood and sweat day in, day out. Thousands of auxiliaries, first-time voters who believe in this president, who went out of their way to support this president. That's why I'm in the studio, to allay their fears, to calm their concerns, and to tell them that the democratic process, even though there's an attempt by Amra and others to thwart it, is alive and it is well, and that they must continue to have faith in the democratic process.
Okay.
We have not backed down. We will never back down, and we will believe in the power of the people. That's what we can say to them.
As a matter of fact, there's absolutely no reason to be backing down because we have a clear pathway, given all of the different numbers that we've articulated on this platform to the presidency. And that's going to be clearly stated today. So let's talk to, before we get to the lines, we are at 9 o'clock. Let's hear Minip Paka, weigh in again on this issue about, firstly, the numbers. In our pathway to victory, but also some of the concerns about folks within the Unity Party projecting numbers when it should be the clear, and prerogative of the National Elections Commission and all of that. And some of them already are beginning to make spurious claims against the ECOWAS, EU, and all of that. If we were to cite Mo Ali in other cases.
When these elections are over, Liberians will remember how Unity Party was willing to sacrifice the stability of the country for the sake of power. Liberians will remember that. I wanted to stress a point Councillor Bala raised and to simplify it further. The necessity of AMK supposed numbers being identical to the National Elections Commission tally, because he's claiming that these numbers were taken from the face of tally sheets. That is why there is no percentage, there's no margin of error in that. It has to be identical, or else it was a irresponsible guesswork. In the regulation of the information space, even in America, there are things you are not allowed to say to the public. There is responsibility even in liberal Europe. There is a thin line, and one must not confuse it, between democracy and chaos. Democracy is not chaos. the will of the people expressed within the confines of the law. This is a constitutional democracy, a rules-based system. That is why all persons running for office have a series of steps that they must follow. You can't just say I'm popular and then declare yourself a representative or a senator. You operate within a confine. The Unity Party has not won these elections. No party has won these elections. And I'm laying this clear and critical basis so that our people, whether they are UP or CDC, that they are not led or misled and put into harm's way because of the limited. Amara knows that there is a high illiteracy rate in this country. He knows that he can come to Monrovia and exploit the ignorance of the population. It's very evil. But those lies that he told will come to light when they go to court, because I know they are planning to go to court. After they lose these elections, the Unity Party will be in court. That is why you see Mo Apology or Mo Ali writing Justice Kabah. That's why you see them trying to mend fences with ECOWAS. But in the court of law, first of all, I will let the councillor address some of these issues. How a possible court scenario, this election might go to a turnaround where there are only 5 voters, or there are only judges instead of voters. There will be judges. So we move from 1.9 million voters to 1.6 million voters down to
five voters at the Supreme Court.
5 voters at the Supreme Court. This election is down to the wire. And I can understand the anxiety because the margins are thin. This society is very divided, which undermines the opposition argument for power. The argument we made is that George Weah was unpopular. Who is unpopular? And you have, which unpopular person can get over 800,000 votes? When we saw the mathematics, some of us who endorsed the president in the second round, we said, no, there's something wrong with our calculations here.
Previous analysis.
We accepted it. You cannot be an intellectual if you are afraid of being wrong. If you are arrogant, it's difficult to educate you, because you must write exams, be told you are wrong in places, go and set makeup and improve. That's why most arrogant people are also what? Ignorant. You make requests, you are denied, you follow the process. Democrats and intellectuals are humble people. So we accepted that we didn't have the numbers on our side. Because you came close doesn't mean you got there. Gentlemen, as these things progress, I am now suddenly clear on the fact that the Unity Party is attempting to use anxieties around peace and stability, exploit the overwhelming love that George Weah has for this country to force their way into the executive mansion. You haven't found the votes. You want to use the threat of things may shake. Look what they did on election day. These buggers went from polling place to polling place, stirring up tension, unnecessary tension. This is the only political party that is claiming that they are winning and that they are being cheated at the same time. You cannot, as a rational person, hold these two ends of the stick.
No.
You cannot be crying that you are cheated,
But you're winning.
This is nonsense.
Okay,
nonsense.
Well, that's the voice of Minip Paka. Let's hear from the public. We've been talking for a little bit.
Buckeye, just a quick one to throw in on stability. I think this is so important for people.
Is this mic on? Is this mic on?
Oh, just a quick one to throw in on stability whilst we wait to hear the public, to just tell you how dangerous this game of claiming that you have won when you have not won is to the people of Liberia. In the early days of the campaign, we cautioned against this reckless tribalizing of the elections, because we know what it can do to a country. And that is why, as a campaign, we refrain from putting out information
that can incense our supporters to engage in violence. Just yesterday, one of our poll workers returning from Latal County said that as they were leaving in their vehicles, they were being jeered and stoned by people within Vanjaman City who are supporters of the Unity Party. Now, these are ordinarily not bad citizens. Vanjaman people are peaceful, welcoming people.
Yeah.
They will embrace you and they provide some of the greatest hospitality that this country can boast of.
That's generally.
But do you know why? At that point in time, they were jeering and about to stone? Because Amara Kone and his goons on Spoon FM have led them to believe that they have won when tallying isn't complete and somebody is attempting to cheat them of something that they've legitimately won. That is the danger we are staring in the eye. Same thing in Nimba County. 4 a.m. in the morning, they have people dancing in Nimba County on claims from Amara Kone and others again that they have won. You know, people are quick to mention the American embassy and visa restrictions and all of those things when it suit their purposes.
Yeah.
But sometimes they need to read the letter of some of these things. When the American government put out that statement and they said those who undermine democracy by thwarting the free process, it is these kinds of activities from Amara Kone, who I believe resides in the US, and others that they are talking about. When you undermine the authority of an electoral body, you want to usurp the role. When you intentionally put out fake and false information for which you have no statistical backing, when you go ahead and mislead your supporters to believe that you have won when you do not have all of the results, and those actions collectively lead to violence, you can be held liable for those actions. And those are the things we're talking about. Why is TJ, former Senator TJ, who are beaten in Sano County, why was he emboldened to assemble United Partisans and march to a national elections commission head office? Why is he emboldened? It's because there is a collective effort and decision on the part of these guys to create this aura of the fact that they have won when they haven't. And the National Elections Commission being the sole authority to come in and say who has won, you find them eroding the credibility. Do you know that even by these actions, commissioners' lives are under threat? Do you know this? The lives of commissioners are under threat by the actions of Amara Kone and his cohort. You ask me how? When you say people are cheating you, who is cheating you? Obviously, it is the National Election Commission that is cheating you. Who heads the National Election Commission? Director Brown and others. When we win tomorrow, when the CDC is pronounced victorious in these elections, and there are partisans of the Unity Party who are disappointed because they've been grossly misled by Amara Kone and his fake data, which has already been proven to be fake, because when he said 85%, they were leading 40,000. NEC said 86%, and they are leading with a slim 16,000. So it's already proven to be fake. Those partisans will be angered. But he will not go back and do the honorable thing to say to them, I lied to you partisans. He won't do it. It is these partisans that may have the tendency to rise up and to want to seek jungle justice. You are threatening the lives of people who are managing that process. Not only is he doing so, he's putting our lives at risk. You know that? When we who sit and speak on behalf of the Coalition for Democratic Change, some of the times when we write on Facebook, you know what people say? They say we are cheating. We want to cheat, and we want to, we want to wrestle power by illegal means. But if that happens, we pay dearly. You know when people say that? I said they say, go honor my post today, go honor other posts that we have made.
We are threatened directly.
We are being threatened daily. Why are they threatening some of us? It's simply because we are holding Amara and others to account. That you don't come here and could do up your own numbers. Why can't you mention this? The Election Commission spent $53 million to conduct these two elections. United Party could not even pay for a headquarter here. You didn't even deploy people to where they went. Yet you claim you have all of the results when even the Election Commission that had those resources available do not even have those results. And you are claiming you are winning. But like Minip Paka said, paradoxically, you are being cheated and winning at the same time. Preparing to go to court. All the bases, preparing to go to court and apologizing profusely in the process of doing so. I like to say this to Liberian people. To our partisans, like I always said, will remain calm, will remain resolute, will remain upbeat and excited because we know our pathway to victory is secure.
Yeah.
We know this. And that is why even we call off the celebration. We're not going to be on the streets anyway. We have planned to go within the confines of the CDC headquarters. But we know how gatherings like that can be.
Yeah.
So the Liberian people need to understand what they hear from Amara Kone is not the Elections Commission. What he projects are not accurate data. These are conjured up numbers that he's brought into our partisans and well-wishers.
And it's already been proven.
85%. It's already been proven.
Yeah.
It's already been proven.
But he said 85%. He said he projected 85% results, and they were leading by 40%. Elections Commission projected 86% of results. They are down to 60,
and we got 200,000 votes.
Yeah,
and we know out there to go that we have now reported, and you say you have won.
Yeah,
you understand? So I just thought to put that out for the stability of the state, that all of us need to exercise the maximum degree of responsibility. I know you want to open the line, but it was important to inject.
I agree. Let's hear from Rufus.
Talking about the peace and stability of the state, Fofana, we all have a duty, to protect the peace. And let me just say something to our ordinary people on the streets today. Some of the people projecting that they have won and creating a condition for chaos, they do not have their families yet. Most of them, in fact, are U.S. citizens, and some of them even have U.S. green cards.
Yeah.
They have, if I should use the word deposited, they have deposited their children, their wives and immediate relatives in America, in London, in other parts of the world. They are here alone, most of them with valid U.S. visa, their bears on their back, their 10 or 15,000 US dollar in the pocket. In fact, some of them even have pre-booked Brussels and Royal Morocco or other planes, Kenya Airways, they have their plane tickets. Some of them have means to go to Sierra Leone, Guinea, get a flight from there back to their families in America. Some of the guys are agitated, even live out of the country, and they are using Facebook and other means to tell people, burn houses, go out there, don't retreat, kill them, fight them. I listen to all those kind of, dangerous utterances. You live here with your wife and your children. You live here with no American visa. You live here maybe with only 2,000 or 5,000 liberty in your pocket. Don't allow them for the selfish political gains. Now, what I told you, I said today, I will not be too political because I know the people I want to appeal to.
Yeah.
I know the people that people at Amara then trying to mobilize on the street. I know they're not mobilizing their children. I know they're not mobilizing their wives. I know the people they are mobilizing. And I'm speaking to those people. If Rufus Nouvel will say you should go and burn the executive mansion, Rufus Nouvel will give you the list of all his children, where they are, his wife, where she is, or girlfriend, whoever he has, and all of those details. You are not similarly situated, my people. Wait for the Election Commission. Moreover, in 2011, the CDC had issues with the election. I don't know whether you all remember. In fact, the CDC pulled out of the process in the second round. The Unity Party, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. The Unity Party went to the second round alone. The Unity Party collected tally sheets alone. With no CDC pool washer, the Unity Party read the results at NEC alone.
And won 90%.
90% alone. And went in the executive mansion alone. And form a government with Amara and the rest of the guys as ministers. Today, President Weah is in power. There's no peacekeeper, yeah? If George Weah were a dictator, but now the CDC will be leading more than 100,000 votes and you can go to court. But even with the power and authority of the government, they have still created a level playing field. If I don't see some of the people that are in government, if I don't see them in heaven tomorrow, I will really ask questions.
I know.
Because this is the first time in African democracy for somebody to be in power with the police under command, the military under command, the central bank under command, the entire local government under command, and you are being led by 16,000 with 85% counting. In fact, in Sierra Leone, the president won that election in 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes of announcing the results. In Guinea, it happened. In fact, the guy in Africa Coast, that he third term, he didn't just win. He changed the whole constitution in the third term. These are our immediate neighbors. Sierra Leone, 30 minutes, the man won. Guinea, the man won, nobody said anything. Africa Coast, the man did not just win. I said third term. We are right here in the Mano River Union. A sitting government, no outside influence, will create a level playing field where there is even, I repeat, there is even a possibility of the Unity Party winning. The fee is so level that George Weah himself may even be defeated, or Joe Boyka may be defeated. Anybody could be defeated. That's the kind of democracy I'm talking about here. And that is why I want Amara Kone to see. The victory for Liberia today is that you have a government without OMO, without peacekeepers. You have a government that is basically financing an election where they are being led. It has not happened anywhere in Africa, for example. So, let me conclude by saying, why are you afraid? If George Weah wanted to cheat, the man would have cheated.
Long time ago.
Man, let talk about
long time ago.
Let talk about so our people can understand. Can you? Yeah, calm down. If the government had plans to cheat,
they finish.
The thing finished. The French person said finish. The fact that the thing not finished, it means the people not cheating. If at the end you find person we are winning these elections, know that it was a free fair. That it was a free fair election. Free. Let me tell you today, or before you go to the lines, none of us are perfect. The level of tolerance and openness in the electoral process. Look, out of the 5 million Liberians, maybe only 3 can do it. If George Weah is not giving a Nobel Peace Prize after this election, they don't know who deserves Nobel Peace Prize. The Unity Party second term, and I will close on it. The Unity Party second term, which was 2011, the UP went to the second round alone. The CDC were in protest. And the CDC backed out of the process. When the CDC backed out of the process in 2011, UP said, "Oh, you back out? Okay,
we don't care.
We mind." All the pool washer were UP. The result came in Monrovia. Nobody believed it. They counted 80%. That counted. Winston Todman and George Weah at the time, if I'm right, they were the standard bearer and vice standard bearer. They when they complain, the other people came, they begged them. They say, oh, at the end of the day, President Weah at the time, standard bearer of the CDC said, "Look, Liberia
was the commissioner at the time.
Listen, Liberia comes first, my people. If I'm not president, I can make a living." And CDC people protested. They were vexed. Oh, George Weah did man too peaceful. George Weah said, "Let's wait for our time." So somebody even waved an entire second round. Then you're talking about 16,000 votes. So we want the process to be peaceful. Like I said, we cannot adopt a campaign mode here because you're not convincing anybody anymore. What has happened. We should be looking at math, statistics, peace, stability. No matter how I condemn Amakone here, it can't change one vote. No matter how I condemn George Weah here or Kanye Obara here, the thing is cemented already. So our utterances cannot be persuasive because you're not persuading anymore. Rather, you are appealing to the consciousness of the people to accept, to save the country and accept the results. If the election, if we reach 100%, let me tell you today, if we reach 100% and George Weah is a winner, we expect Joe Boyka to congratulate him. Similarly, if Boyka is a winner, I know George Weah. He will get in a car, he will go there and say, "Oh man, about the people say, oh, let the country here." Nobody planning to cheat here. Nobody cheating here. If the people wanted to cheat, you will not be standing where you are standing, my brother. The Unity Party drove the CDC from a whole second round. You complaining about 16,000 votes. The people won the entire second round. The CDC did not participate. And the Unity Party danced at the inauguration as if they won the second round over the CDC.
As if there was a competition.
There was even no competition. So I'm just drawing this history so that seditionists can hear it. I'm bringing in the 2011 scenario so that the Unity Party people can hear the ultimate sacrifices that people made for the democracy we enjoy today. So when somebody come, you say you butt naked and you will do that, you will do that. All of men come, anything will bring it, will bring nothing. Look, nobody can bring here more than anybody. The other project decided to be peaceful and they will remain peaceful. Nobody can make anybody scared yet. Nobody can run anybody in the children all a year. Nobody can come to anybody room do that nonsense that happened 1990. One 14-year-old boy take go and kill whole village. I dare you to try again. The villagers will ambush you right at the entrance of the village. So all the negative utterances, you're going and grab the eto burn, you're more burn hole, you're burn the neck. My brother, the matches take, everybody get it. But everybody will not use it because Liberia is very important for us. Liberia will not be destroyed because of George Weah and Joe Boyka. Yeah. Whoever is the winner as announced by NEC, let us move on, my people. Let us move on.
Wow, quite powerful message there from Ambassador Rufus Nouvel. Let's hear from the public. But somebody made this observation. The person said, and I wonder you Rufus to be here to listen to that. The person who's on a sort of a historian in Liberian politics. He said the political climate in Liberia right now, there's a divide right down the middle. A group of people who are classified as grassroots support the president. The other who, maybe in the middle class, obviously support the other side. But if you look at a side that is capable of causing any trouble in this country, it will obviously be the grassroots. So the other side, according to this pundit, are just essentially posturing. So, they shouldn't bite more than they can chew. Yeah. To the extent of questioning and threatening war and threatening violence and all of that, because the group of people on the other side are the actual grassroots. Those are the ones that are capable of causing trouble. So you don't want to push them so much. What do you think of that? That was.
I mean, you don't want to start. You don't want to chew more than you can, swallow, bite or something. You want to have a peaceful society because the Rufus Nouvel of this war is an intellectual. Okay, the Munubaga Dumoy, the Kanyo Baba, Fofana. I mean, we are not muscular in our approaches. If you talk about chaos now, I will probably tell you about running on my mattress. But there are people in this country. Mind you, the level of Zogos and Zogis now more than 1989.
More than that.
You don't want to have a situation where people come from Central Street and become the leaders in the country. Yeah. You don't want a situation because if you have checkpoints, of course, you and myself will not be here. So to support what you're saying for Fana, the CDC, all parties, as a matter of fact, we have, good people, other people, we are all mixed up, we are all Liberians. But just remember, my people, the people to benefit from the election victory in this country are less than 5,000 citizens. Some of you don't know Joe Boyka, you don't know George Weah. Some of you will never be appointed to government. Some of you don't have all the millions and all the businesses, but they are coming to you to tell you instigate crisis. Look, I supported Joe Boyka in 2017. I will say it here. And the reason why I supported Joe Boyka, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had me in her government as deputy minister, youth and sports. And Joe Boyka as a vice president were contesting. I felt that it was kind of unfair not to support the vice president for the government I'm serving. So out of gratitude, 2017, I campaigned and voted for Joe Boyka. Amara Kone and the rest of the guys, they play, how the children can call that thing, or the thing where you can bypass your friend. They play 30 with us. All in the same government, we say let's support Joe Boyka because the people get our job, we here with them. While supporting Joe Boyka, the likes of Amara Kone and few of our friends bypass us
and went to CDC
and made a deal with CDC and helped CDC to win and secure their interests. Leaving the rest of us, have you played chess? You know the thing they call pong? There's a C they call
that the least valuable.
The least valuable officials. So in any government, the least valuable officials were the less of Rufus Nouvel then your leader picking up behind Joe Boyka and caught Joe Boyka 2 feet for honor him. So we fell down in 2017 with Joe Boyka, forcing some of us to private sector for 6 years. Now we're going toward 2023. I'm out there will play 30 again. They're going back to play 30s. Where they carry the country 2017, they're trying to take the country for them and carry in 2020 to the other place they took the country from. I don't know what kind of games they are playing, but all I want to say to them is, by law, the only authority responsible to say who the winner is the National Elections Commission. Now for Fana, now Munubaga Dumoy, now Kanyo Babara, now Rufus Nouvel, now Amara Kone. Let us wait for the Election Commission and prepare yourself. In any competition, prepare yourself. It is possible to win. It is possible not to win. The building of the mentality of we must win is leading to a potential for instability and chaos. And that is where I come from. So seditions, you could win. Tomorrow you could not win. Unity partisan, you could win, you could not win. Let us look at it. But the spokesman is saying that
there's a clear pathway for the CDC to win. That's exactly the point I wanted to make.
Because he has the documents, they have the sheets, they have all the records. So we look up to the mathematical pathway and possibility
as projected by the spokesperson
to be re-elected.
Let's open the lines. Call us on 080-514-096, 080-514-096 or 086-561-537. Let's take our first caller this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
And where the Minip Paka my news was from there, and I come away from the country.
Okay, Rosetta.
Nouvelle. The council said we were attacked inside last night. I think you people have seen our videos stacking with on Facebook that they can see in prayer. It is not forgot the president Montreal prayer for us. That lady all rode the same car to come. The moment we got on the property and some people see that were getting down from the car. People came to the car to attack that lady and car of wound on it.
Oh wow! How do you call her? Siabondo. How do you call her?
Because if our country having to move power, it's following this regime. Not only for your regime, I was fully or more. I will not come to support our little sister.
Oh no! We ain't getting into that one.
So we're not your friend. We need people on shit that come over that foreign thing. Thank you for informing the opportunity and thanks to the people.
But this is interesting. I'm sure you guys must have seen the video with this lady saying, if Joseph Boakai becomes president, he came off Weah Street. So basically, these are things that are within the realms of politics and free speech and all of that. So this lady made this statement, but she's saying she was riding with this lady from Lofa County and she was attacked. And this is exactly the refrain we're beginning to hear around the country, with different people beginning to say that they are beginning to experience reprisal or sort of some vengeful activity from the Unity Party, and this is something they need to address. But before I get to you, let's talk to more callers. Let's talk to this one. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
Thank you. I find the show this morning from District number 11.
Okay.
I ought to appreciate Big Brother and Ruus because he loves Liberia. He has passion for this country. That is why he spoke the way he spoke this morning. But the leg of Dumwe and that of Stanio, I'm not sure that they love Liberia, right?
You're not the authority to decide who love Liberia or not. Let's talk to more callers. Open the lines there. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Your name, where are you calling from? Hello?
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from? Okay, let's talk to this other caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Theophilus Tobin. I call from Central Monrovia.
Yeah, Theophilus, go ahead.
Let me say thanks to the Anthony Atlaw. But let me say to you and Big Brother Camille, I thought you people came to this radio
let's talk to more callers. You can participate on the platform without.
While we wait for the caller, there's something to. Still on stability. There's something to inject here, and we know the attempts by those to hijack the lines. These are not strange phenomena. I know, because when the message resonates, then they assign their cyber teams and they want to hijack the phone lines to give another impression. If you go to, there's a guy called Mike Jabate. Yeah. All right. Mike Jabate. I don't know him personally. I've seen it, but somebody sent me a screenshot. If you go to Mike Jabate's Facebook page from yesterday, right? Mike Jabate wrote this on his Facebook page yesterday. Yesterday at 10:17 a.m. This is what Mike Jabate wrote. But before I even read that, if you also go to Mo Ali's page, you will see 2 months ago, Mo Ali congratulating Mike Jabate for joining the so-called
rescue mission and for supporting their efforts. It's on his page, documented there. Last night at 10:17, yesterday rather, 10:17 a.m., Mark Jabate writes this. I am reading verbatim as it is. I'm not adding a single line to what he wrote. He writes, all ex-fighters are invited tomorrow morning, which means this morning, at Oro Junction to celebrate our victory. Wear green or white t-shirt. I repeat, this is Mike Jabate. All ex-fighters are invited tomorrow morning at Oro Junction to celebrate our victory. Wear green or white t-shirts.
Let's talk to this caller
now
here.
There are a number of things. I think I need to make this point. There are a number of things problematic with this statement from Mike Jabate. The first thing is that there is a presumption. There is a presumption that there is a victory. You are citing people yesterday to assemble today to celebrate a victory that you claim you have won, a victory that is not pronounced by the National Elections Commission. That's the first thing that is problematic. The second thing that is problematic is the character of people that you are summoning to assemble. You are making a summons or call to people who are ex-fighters. Now, I'm not trying to throw a blanket over all ex-fighters as being people who will disturb the peace, but in our history, we know what the whole idea of ex-fighters evoke.
Okay,
when you mention ex-fighters.
Let's hear from more callers. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
This is Toga Alessandro Biere. I'm
Hey.
from How are you, gentlemen?
Toga Biere, how are you?
I am good. I've been following the show, and I think some of the analysis coming from all of you are very good. The issue, I'm very taken aback as someone that the country should hold in high esteem, like former Minister Amara Conan, will be taking the route that he's taking. I mean, even if you have a war room, the reason in a democracy that you build a war room is not to jeopardize the peace of the country. The reason you have a war room is not to sit there and be putting secrets out there. The reason you have a war room is to have something to hold on to. That if the body that is clothed with the authority to provide the necessary information, if there are any miscalculations along the line, so your documents can prove. You are not the one to be announcing who has won election or not. And this man is supposed to be senator of our country. He knows the laws and he's violating the laws in this form and manner. It's very troubling. I mean, even if you're talking about 16,000 matches, even in a representative election, that number is too tiny for you to call it a call. I mean, for Amara to be on air and announcing, I think the National Elections Commission that should even be certifying a candidate should not certificate people like Amara, because you already have said unto yourself that you can certify yourself, you can go to the legislature, you can become senator on your own. You don't need National Elections Commission. And all the guy is saying, the man has clawed unto himself that he's the editor Brown, Brown Lasana, he don't want to announce a result in the country. And people who are knowledgeable in this country are sitting down and accepting a guy who just ran for America a few days, boy away into the legislature. You know, all I know is that boy away into the legislature. This man was paying people $100 back and forth to go and get votes in and get votes in.
Thank you, Toga. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Baba M. Fofana, and good morning to the Conscious Manela Bire.
Yeah.
My name is Abraham Puriti from Modri Setu, and I call from the most talk about Bible Avenue this morning.
Okay, Abraham.
Let me appreciate your two distinct studio guests for their brilliant analysis. You know, we want to tell our supporters, make election, victory is certain for the re-election of President John Manuel. Let me appreciate specifically the people from Bronx County. You bring proud to us. Election Commission probably completed your error. In the first round, Minip Paka won up, but in the second round, you did extremely well. We tapping in
Bon County, the CDC has always won Bon County, first, second round.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the question. Because I just tell you, I did that. Okay, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
So, if Bon County did extremely well, the other country who stood by us, the victory, we should not mind them by provoking us. And remain patient. Lastly, Honorable Bavana, please read a statement from EPA because EPA commended this government and this country that we conducted a credible and free and fair election. The two parties send an agent in the entire country. So when the election results come, nobody should say they cheat. So victory is setting for the re-election of President John Manuel.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk to this other caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Waka. Good morning to Kanyo. Good morning to your studio guests. For the sake of the public, my name is Cooper Passaway, and I called this morning from district number 11. Let me appreciate
Cooper, the noise around your place is a little high. I mean, we need please move away from the radio and call us back. Let's talk to Janje back there. Janje, good morning.
Good morning, Baka, and good morning to your panelists in the studio.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. I follow the show from the Port City of Buchanan, and I'm finding it very troubling. Yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it is troubling in our country history where Labrador is dragging into. And I want to say to you, we have to be friends no matter what the situation is. Labrador is all we have. As I speak to you, my family is on track. People came to the house, they attacked the generator room, they used gasoline, they put it on fire.
Oh, wow.
It is the kind of country that the United Party is trying to run to wish on people to destroy people's lives. This is troubling. What I can say to our many supporters out there, let's remain firm, let's remain focused, for I know today's result that will come. 16,000 vote margin cannot be a result that somebody will have over 200,000 votes on the way coming. I can say to you, because of these issues, yes, we are sure of there will be a significant number of votes coming from Bats as well. And while the Southeast and Nima candidate Manosa is coming in, but I want to say this to us. The joint security forces need to be for that strengthening every county. You guys are playing serious attacks against people. When I was supporting Joseph Walker, I'm one of the victims right now. But what I left the house with my children. You know what I'm saying? So these are issues that they are trying to instill fear into the country.
Being threatened every day.
This is very bad. And we need to speak about that. And those involved, they should know that if they continue this, to every equal and opposite reaction, that serious forces that will come against. We don't want to drive the country back to where it came from. But we cannot be threatening our own country because we want to be president and vote for George and you vote for Joseph Walker. And so the Democratic run the president and lay the foundation for. And since our boss, since 1985, we saw a democratic process. This is where a sitting government went to a president and get over 46. They say, the vote first one, it didn't inflict any result. And you cry about cheating while you say celebrating that you winning. I think they are dragging themselves into the pool of defeat and they will be defeated. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's talk to more callers here. Good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Minister Fofana. Good morning to Kanyo, Honorable Councillor Kanyo, and referring to the rest of your colleagues in studio. Good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm Emmanuel N. Topa Jr., and I join you guys this morning from the office of the intellectual class of district number 14. I want to appreciate you guys, the campaign spokesperson, and the rest of the guys from the CDC, including Liberians who, conducted themselves peacefully to go through the October 10th and subsequently the November 14th election. I think we did well, and we, from the majority bloc of the CDC, the Liberian people have made a decision, and we know what we did. We voted this president because of the numerous things he has done. This is, like I always say on Facebook posts or other platforms, President, there is not a step, there is no step of president. We are in Africa, where you will have a sitting president go for a second term, and you see the president so free, fair, transparent, that even like one of you guys said, you could be voted out. This kind of democracy is not even for in the U.S. I remember the last U.S. election I was conducted. The sitting president, he complained. He complained of fraudulence in the election. Even the election that brought Donald Trump, I saw the U.S. Some of them from the Democrat complaining that Russia infiltrated the process.
Thank you. Let's talk to this other caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where are you calling from?
My name is Newton. I join you from Peterborough, Sullivan District, Maryland County.
Newton, go ahead.
Let me exclusively say good morning to Ambassador Nouvel. I admire his speech this morning. It sounds very much peaceful. And I want to urge every one of us at Liberia to accept the result, whoever way it goes. All we pray for is for Liberia to be stable and for Liberia to be peaceful so that all can live in it and live in it with peace and progression. Thank you. Let God bless Liberia.
Thank you. Do we have callers there, or are we still having trouble with the line? We can take like 2 more callers. Let's try. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Minister Fofana.
Yeah, your name, where are you calling from?
Mike Bemelet calling from Micat Grand Barber County, one of both county finance.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Minister Fofana. I would like to tell the kilo game, thank you. About Ruus and along with Kano, Bakala, and all of people who are touching Jumuy. So we are very peaceful in this process. With the Liberia, with the sedition, we are necking to neck. We would never ever pre-celebrate or take neck or with the result. So the only thing we're here to tell is the opposition, the party is to remain new. You can't say you are winning election, then 40 years, you talk about your attack, you talk about your point of vote, then you are not there. You're not protecting our life in the country. And majority of them, as you said on the program, they are telling their family they are not here. We the 4 people, we the 1 year. Nothing like that will let them walk here far over. Let them come in another problem. So we are making them please let them listen to next result.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Honorable Fofana. This is Thomas Tamabono.
Okay.
And I joined you from a resident in Deer Mockery Community, Ghanansville.
All right, Thomas.
Yeah, it is not a surprising thing. The senior bearer of the United Party said in Grand Barber County that if he doesn't win the election, it will be the end of Liberia. So we have capitalized on those things. So see these people jumping around. When you vote in the United Party, then the ruling party, you overall about 1%, and you are running all around that you claim victory. It is the force who, if even President we can give up, even the minister can give up, all the people can give up, I will not give up until I see the end. I told them we don't have war room. We believe in 430.
No, we got war room. We got war room.
We don't have war room.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay. You're being sarcastic.
Yeah, so I'm quoting them. But I believe in 430. Today 430 is very well changed. I just ask all our viewers, the young people, to remain calm because these people will fool you. They will use you and they will dump you.
Okay. Thank you. I think that's all the calls we can accept for now. Yeah, quite an engaging set of our listeners there. Minip Paka, what do you think of some of the comments made by the callers?
I think.
Oh, but I think we should take this one. This is from Representative-elect Dixon Sibo. Honorable Sibo, good morning.
Good morning, Boaka, and this is a very good morning to our colleagues in studio. You've done a very good job in your presentation.
And congratulations, on your re-election.
I will begin to take more of the congratulations after Mr. President has been announced.
Precisely.
So let me just get to the point I was making. Look, we've called on all our people to be calm. And the reason is we are a sitting government and we will keep the peace. I know where the guys are going. We are not going to follow through with them. We are going to win the elections. I'll tell you why. AMRA, under 12 hours, announced 85% of the votes. And he claimed they were winning, leading 40%. I mean,
40,000 votes.
40,000 votes. Under 12 hours. It has been 72 hours. He has not announced the rest of the votes. You know what they did, cleverly? AMRA engineered the numbers. The areas that they know they have more votes, he calculated first to give that anxiety to the people that they are already on the path of winning. The AMRA that know if he can get 85% or not 12 hours, I strongly do believe he has the rest of the 15%. But they don't want to announce it, because if they announce it now, it means that they will be conceding defeat. And so let's calm down as ruling party. Indeed, we are winning elections. We have got all of our numbers, but people are claiming that we're not putting our numbers up. We are ready to put our numbers up. Because when we put our numbers up now, our supporters will begin to celebrate ahead of neck. It's going to be a bad sign. Yeah. So let's calm down because we are winning. I know the engineering that my friend Amra did. He's just going to portray that they can win. But he has the rest of the numbers. If he was honest enough and he wants to be honest enough, he will bring out the rest of the numbers to ensure that they concede, because we have won the elections. Thank you again. Let's calm down, Liberians, because Liberians all that we have, and we have won the elections, but we are not going to celebrate until NEC has finally announced. Thank you for having me.
You know, the show has created quite an interest across the country. A lot of people call it. I see the former president is attempting to reach out to us at this stage, but Minip Paka, you can go ahead while we're reaching out to Charles Coffey.
I just want to say
he sent a lot of messages that he wanted to comment on the show.
I just want to say this.
I mean, a message.
I just want to say this. I know we Liberians, we are never impressed with ourselves, but when we laid down our guns up 20 years ago, plus the Accra Peace process was 2003, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is 2023. This is the 20th anniversary of our return to democracy. That commitment to democracy by the Liberian people is solid and is going nowhere. In the worst case scenario, there is a Joe Buckeye presidency. You have democratic institutions to protect those who did not vote for him.
Yeah.
You have the history of the country that political isolation leads to a torpedoing of the system. You have the Liberian public commitment to democracy. This election will not end Liberia. No group of Liberians, if you are a sedition, you have no reason to feel that if this election is lost, you cannot live in Liberia and the place will not be secure for you. There may be some people with screws loose on the UP side. Yes, some screws shaking. Because yes, nobody will get an absolute mandate from this election. This is a half of a point margin possibility here, based on the way we are looking at the trends. Nobody will get a mandate from the Liberian people that you are free to do anything you want. CDC got the most seats in the legislature. That is an entire branch of government where the CDC is exercising majority. And so what you have here is a need for people to return to reality.
Can cripple the government, can bring the government to a standstill.
Yes, that's the only branch that is capable of impeaching a president.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, you don't have a weak CDC or a weak unity party. This is a healthy democracy. And for those who are dreaming, lorded over people, properties, you are dreaming. It's like during the war years, some of the one fashion leaders used to tell their fighters that I will not pay you. Any horse you see in the city, you can just write your name on it for you. That's not how people come by properties. So if you see someone riding a car, you say, well, it's not Joe Buckeye winner, you don't want to be in that car.
Let's hear from Charles Coffey. Charles is the former president of the Press Union of Liberia. Charles, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to your studio guest.
Okay, where are you calling from this morning?
I'm still in Grand Club in Belgium.
Oh, you were a candidate, right?
Yes, but we were here for the runoff.
Okay.
So I'm still here, and we are monitoring the result. But I think...
are you monitoring ERBC from Grand Cru?
Yeah, I'm monitoring you from Belgium here.
Okay.
Yeah, news and the other resident studio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that you have the studio guest, because then this information is causing problem, and we want to urge our people to remain peaceful. This is a democratic process. The campaign is over. Let us listen to the results from NEC. But people making threatening remarks, and so far, I mean, it's undermining peace and stability in our country. All of us know the dark days
the destruction of lives and properties. Now we have graduated from the actions of war. What we are now is the democratic process. So the way the results are coming, there is no winner. The two candidates, anybody can win, and votes are still remaining.
Outstanding.
So, still outstanding. But what I want to say is that it's important that the people came in studio and you have this program this morning, because everybody is concerned, especially those of us on this side, with different comments from all over what the vote are still going in. And if you put people in a direction, in Liberia now, and then to remove them from that direction, it will be difficult, as you were saying.
Yeah.
So it's good that we try to stabilize the situation. Violence is not the way out, and violence does not distinguish. If there's war now, they would not say the person at Unity Party or CDC or this other person, the bullet should not touch this person or touch the other person.
Yeah.
So we want to call all our citizens across the country to be calm, to remain peaceful. National Elections Commission is the authority to release results. Whatever result is being given by some people, it's not official, it's not authentic. Let the results come from NEC, and after the results, let's keep the peace and maybe Liberia move forward, because our kids are in school.
Yeah.
The international community has invested a lot in Liberia to make peace, from ECOWAS to the United Nations. So if anyone want to,
and as you said that, it's created so much anxiety that many of the schools have even told the kids not to come to school today.
Sure, everybody is concerned about security. You can't send your children to school when people are planning to have victory march while we're still waiting for the final result from NEC. If both parties will go for victory march, then who will be the winner? And there will be destruction of lives and property. We already have disadvantaged young people across the country. We are trying to institute some measures to put them back to life. And if there is violence, we affect all of us. That's why we have the election democratic process. Let the leader out of this here, then you will let another person.
Thank
you.
you.
Now, nobody can say the president is a winner. So generally, in Southeast, most of the countries are peaceful. We all expect the final results. We know the number are left. It's still important that anybody to win.
That's the voice of PUL, former President Charles Coffey. A lot of calls coming in. We're getting calls from the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs, Jalawa Tompo. Jalawa, please call in. We'll take you. Yeah, but go ahead, Kanye.
Yeah, I know we're already fast out of time, so I will also use this opportunity to close at this particular point in time. I think this has been a very, very useful conversation.
Yeah,
because the tenor of information being provided to the public by Amara Kone and his team of misinformationists at the Unity Party was creating the appearance that the Unity Party had won these elections. And we know, based on the data from the National Elections Commission, no such thing has happened. No such thing has happened.
No.
So it's important for seditions, reactions, those who support the president, to get this message loud and clear that we have a statistical pathway to the presidency and winning these elections. Yeah.
No, before you conclude, so that you can back your point. What is this? Okay. Yeah, okay. We have for instance, the total results from Maryland, for instance. I don't know, this is Grand Jita. So we still got, this is 79% of the result has come in so far from Grand Jita. We have the president leading by 89%.
Exactly.
Votes, in Grand Jita, for instance. So let's go to other parts of the country right now. I just wanted to just give them a picture. And we have something similar from, let's look at Maryland, for instance. We have about 99% of the results are coming from Maryland. The president leading by 83% there. Let's look at the percent that come from Sino, because Sino is quite important. Yeah, I think Sino still has a lot outstanding. About 25% of the results are outstanding from Sino, but so far the president leading by 83%, and we're talking about an excess of almost 20,000 votes. So these are the kind of things that we're talking about.
Boyka, you couldn't have put it better. And like I said, I wanted to close on this note. like I said when we started this conversation, and this will be my parting comments.
Yeah.
I did not come here in as much as what I see Amra Kone and operators of the Unity Party engaging in this willful misinformation that has the tendency to provoke violence because you are misleading people who trust and believe in your judgment. That's not, I didn't come here because of them. All right. Even though it's egregious, what has happened in Lufa, the beating of people associated with the CDC, people believe that we are trying to cheat when the election results are still being called.
Yeah.
The things that are happening in Nimba and other parts of this country, the storming of the National Elections Office in Sino County, all as a result of the kind of fake information being put out there. As egregious as these things are, that's not why I'm here. I'm here primarily because of seditions, of reactions, and for those who support the president. I have received thousands of calls from all over since the results started coming in. I've tried my best to buffer these calls, to send back words of caution, words of hope, explaining our pathway to the presidency. But it's important to come to this platform where you can speak to the whole country.
Yeah.
And allay these concerns so people understand once and for all that fake information from the Unity Party is not credible information from the National Elections Commission. Finally, I'd like to say this. I posted this on my page. Liberia is all we have. Like Council Nouvel said, some of us here, Liberia at our front and Liberia at our back.
I know. We got nowhere to go.
And so therefore, when those who parachute in every now and then in the hope of stealing, I would use that, of grasping political power by any means necessary, we're not going to allow them to populate the space with this kind of rhetoric. On that note, I think I will conclude.
Let's get the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs and the Minister of Information, Jalawa Tompo. Jalawa, good morning.
Good morning, brother. And let me say good morning to your studio guests. But let me first of all thank your boss, because the two of you spoke for the campaign team. You managed actually the information system of the campaign. So can you and Bwaka hats up to the two of you along with your, the campaign or communication team. And to dear the Rufus, Anthony Rufus.
Yeah.
Thank you so kindly. My distinguished brother, Minip Paka, thank you. Now the two of you been speaking for your campaign team, let me speak for the government. And I know other people have
I've been speaking for the government, Deputy Minister of the government too. That's it. So I was here talking as a deputy government spokesperson.
You are doing extremely well.
I didn't invoke my campaign status. Kanye was the one speaking for the campaign today.
Okay. But again, let me thank the Liberian people. I 100% on behalf of the government like to thank the Liberian people for being so peaceful and kind. All we can say is that they wait for the 4:30 the result that will be coming up, and I can simply say to the rest of the people, in Exodus chapter 14 verse 13, Moses told the children of Israel, said, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. This Egyptian you see today, you shall see them no more. So I'd like to thank all of you, and God willing, it will be good.
Okay, let's hear from Rufus. I think these are our closing arguments now.
I participated, very fully in the comprehensive, the execution of the comprehensive peace accord. I represented the youth in this country in the transitional legislative assembly.
Yep.
I play a very active role with the United Nations mission to move throughout the 15 counties and disarm, reintegrate, rehabilitate young people. I have a first-hand experience of the gravity of crisis and conflict. We struggle to bring into motion the democracy that we enjoy today. During these elections, we warn that regardless of the side that you are taking, avoid tribal politics, regional politics, religious politics. Some people did not hear us. At some point in time, the election almost turned into a county meet, where all of the political and philosophical issues were disregarded. issues of growth and development were disregarded. All the policy prescriptions that were put forward were even disregarded because Rufus Nouvel is a global man and Rufus Nouvel is running. And if he wins, a global man, we the global people will win. So nobody had time for electricity, water, rules. No, those things didn't happen. Because of that, the net effect, which I want to modify as a negative net effect of that, is that some people believe now that they will either win or die. That our heritage, our legacy is now on threat. These people, there are a lot of them hanging around in all of the political parties. And what Amara Conan is doing is that they are walking around a room with a gallon of gasoline and a box of matches. And walking around the room with all of these existing tribal, regional, and to some extent, partial religious tension in the country. We are advising them, don't let fire. We are advising them, don't let fire out. When you let fire, the road to RIA may be black. When you let fire, the road to the Guinea border may be black. No helicopter yet. The road to Bowater, don't let fire. If John Brown is a winner, the neck will fairly announce John Brown, we move. If Peter Paul is a winner, neck will announce Peter Paul, and we move. The CDC has record to show that they have a pathway to victory. Unity Party also claiming. Yo, hold on. Let's look at the referee, the National Election Commission. If you are not satisfied, and Kanye is here, I want Kanye to close on a little issue of law. If you are not certified, there are legal steps that you can take for redress. Letting fire, putting tires on the street, telling people to prematurely celebrate and attack other people who did not support John or Peter, it is unfair. And we also expect the two political leaders, I'm not talking about the campaign team, the political leaders or the party chairpersons, if not the political leader, to come in with messages of peace to their supporters. Chairman Moba Molu, please do it. How you call the other chairman?
With Tappet, Rufus.
Tappet, Reverend Tappet.
Yeah, Lutus Tappet.
Yeah, Reverend Lutus Tappet. Lutus Tappet. Please do it. Forget about all the harsh rhetoric that will come. Munubaka Duma's role is to propagate the philosophy of the side.
He supports,
But Moba Molu may have a different role. Luther Tappet may have a different role. We expect that between now and 4:30, the two political party chairpersons, I don't want to say political leader because the president will be busy, Joe Biden will be busy. I can't go way up there, but at least at the leadership level, to call your partisans to come. Amar Kone is not the chairman of the Unity Party. And he's my friend, he's my big brother. I will even call him and say, oh, man, hello, how you come? But he's not he has no authority in the Unity Party. There's an authority of the Unity Party. Please speak to peace. This is the only country we have. Go your John, go your Peter. I'm a professional, I'm a lawyer. Kanye Obabara is a lawyer, regardless of who is president, you will survive. Munubaga is an economist. We can survive under any regime. But we are concerned about our people and the peace of the country. There is a mathematical possibility for the CDC to win. 16,000 is a small number. Let us wait for the National Election Commission. Thank you.
Kind of got a minute to close.
Yeah, let me close Minip Paka, then you can close. Minip Paka, you know, you're quite this very stellar, eloquent individual. If we gave you the opportunity to close now, I don't think I'll ever have the opportunity to speak again. But anyway, that said, sorry, Rufus, there was a point you thought I should render an opinion. Of course, there is something in law we refer to as exhaustion. I'm not talking about physical exhaustion. I'm talking about legal exhaustion. The whole principle of exhaustion hinges on the process that whenever an issue is in controversy, there is a process to follow, and that you must follow that process as it is documented by law and exhaust it to the final arbiter that should handle that particular process. If the Unity Party now feels, even as they lead that thin, slim lead of 16,000 that is degenerating as we speak, because votes are still being tallied and coming in, if they still believe that in as much as they lead, that they are being cheated, then I will ask them, abort the process and file a formal complete and start the process of challenging the results since they are fraudulent. But you can't be claiming that
I am leading by 16,000, but you are cheating me at the same time. But I will stay with this process, but you are cheating and you are inciting your followers to get into the streets. That's not what responsible institutions engaging. And that's why in my final comments, again, I'll call on the Liberian people. Let us remain peaceful. Let us remain calm. Let us embrace this process with an open mind. We have a pathway, seditions and reactions to the presidency of this country. Statistically based on over 200,000 votes that are still out there being tallied. As we speak, President Weah still can be elected as president of this country. And we have our own documentation to that effect. However, because we're responsible, we'll wait on the National Elections Commission. Thank you.
Mr. DuBois?
Yes. I will try. A part owner of Bon County, a grandson of Neswa Koko. This is my country. If you ask to be, I move to Bon County and take my position and sit there and wait for you. Even if you are able to win, in less than 7 months, they'll be chasing you on the street for corruption.
Exactly.
We have gone through the same cycle over and over. When the unfortunate pictures beamed across our TV screens where someone murdered a president, the charge was corruption. Years before that, when soldiers, non-commissioned officers burst onto the TV screen, when Toba was overthrown, what was the charge? Corruption. When CDC won the election in when Mrs. Sally won the election in 2005, what was her mantra? She was going to fight corruption. When she was removed democratically by the CDC, what was the CDC campaigning against? Corruption. Today, United Party is saying they are coming to clear corruption.
Okay.
People are self-righteous and they're getting high, and they were there for 12 years. What did Joe Walker forget to do when he was on Capitol Hill that he's going there to do? Some of these people, like someone said, you don't know Joe Walker. You don't know these people. The whole thing looking like you watching karate show, you supporting the hero or the bad man. For the majority of our population, that's what Ambassador Nuva was talking about.
He's supporting the hero bad man.
Who will the victors be? Some misinformed person wrote me and said, we're coming for your government car. If you don't know me, I've never had a government job. I live in the private sector.
Even if you get government job, you get government car.
Anyways,
So,
hold your horses, be peaceful, because the life you will save could be your own.
Anyway, well, let's just inform you that the national football team of Liberia, the Lone Star, will on today, November 17, play the national football team of Malawi in the 2026 World Cup qualifier. The game will take place at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex at 4 p.m. So it's about the same time of the announcement. Listeners are asked to tune in to Metro FM 89.9 for a live broadcast of the game. Metro FM 89.9, not 99.9 FM. 89.9. That's why you're asked to tune into at 4 o'clock. Well, that's all the time we have. It was quite an engaging panel, a heavyweight panel, quite an intellectual panel today that we have. We're just basically urging you to respect all of the different electoral processes and keep the peace of the nation, but also have an open mind that anybody could be president. Some of you have already been engaged. Your minds have been put into gear by a couple of fake information out there on social media. So that's why we're trying to unravel today. We have Rufus Nouvel, Ambassador Rufus Nouvel. We also had the campaign spokesman Kanyo Bagbala, and we had a stalwart of the CPP, Minip Paka Dumoy, with us. This has been Micat Hour. My name is Boakai Fofana. Bye-bye.